Welcome, horror fam, to HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. On tonight's show, we are going to be creating our own HHN draft. Before we get to that, let's introduce our hosts and guests. Duff, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
It's going good. And we also have Niko on the line, our producer. How's it going, Niko?
Skittle scattle, it's going well.
Good. Well, and do we have any news, rumors, anything to go before, or are we just going to hop right into what we're doing tonight?
I don't got anything, so I think we could just start drafting.
Let's do it.
So let me explain the rules a little bit. So we are going to be drafting our own HHN events, trying to be as most popular as we can with our listeners. And then at the end, we are going to put them up to a fan vote on Twitter and Instagram and let you guys vote on who drafted the best HHN event for the future. Not necessarily HHN 30, but just for the future. There are a few rules that we are abiding by here. So your event must have at least 10, no more, and at least 10 houses, 5 zones, 5 zones and 2 shows, no more than 8 IPs drafted, no more than 5 IP houses, no more than 4 returning IPs, meaning an IP that's been used at the HHN Orlando event before, and no more than 4 original sequel houses, so something that's been created by Halloween Horror Nights. No more than 4 of those, but you can have it up to 4. And then this rule, to try to make it a little bit unique, we are aware of the Horror Night Nightmares map we talk about a lot. If you're going to utilize something from that map, it cannot be utilized the same way that they are predicting. So, for example, if you want Haunting of Hill House in your event, you cannot utilize it as a house, but you can utilize it as a zone or a show. Your event can have an icon or no icon. It's up to you, and you can utilize anything you've drafted. For example, if you draft Jack the Clown, he can be your icon. He can be a theme of a house, a zone, and a show. So he could be potentially 4 things for you if you take Jack the Clown. All right. Any other rules I forgot, guys?
No, but Mike, who gets the draft first?
All right. Well, to find out, we are actually all going to roll a d20, and as we're going to follow the honor system here. So, how about you roll first, Niko?
All right, here it comes, and I got a whopping 15.
Ooh, that's a good one. All right, what do you get?
Let's see. 17.
Oh, geez.
All right, Mike.
I got a 10.
All right. So, Duff, do you necessarily want to go first, or do you want to go third since we're doing a snake draft?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go third.
Okay.
I'm gonna risk it.
All right. I'll take first then.
Okay. And I'll go second.
All right. Sounds good. So, should I go ahead and pick it off?
Yeah, go ahead. What is going to be the very first thing coming out of this draft?
Well, with a big middle finger to the 2 of y'all, graveyard games.
Ooh.
Okay.
What an asshole.
Nope. They're gonna play in very well into my draft strategy this evening. So
all right,
we'll discuss what we're gonna do with them later.
Motherfucker. All right. There. Well, throwing a wrench into my plans already, but that's okay. I have a backup. All right, so I will be drafting next. So for mine, I feel like I'm kind of drafting a defense for my number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. So it's I'm breaking the rules a little bit when it comes to draft. I really should go after a quarterback, but I know that this defense is always going to put up a solid 20 points, and I think you guys are also going to try to go after it. And that's why I'm going to drafting Marathon of Mayhem.
So, good choice.
Okay. That is going as my number 1 pick is the Marathon of Mayhem. Going off the board.
Well,
so I have to...
All right, Duff.
Go ahead.
I got to say I'm happy because my top prospect is still on the board. So I'm proud to say with the 3rd pick in the HHN 365 draft, Duff will be selecting Terra Cruentus.
Oh,
okay.
Nice. All right, you get to pick again.
And how do I want to? Where do I think you guys are going to go? That's the tough part about this pick. All right. I want to make sure I have this, so I'm going to do it. With the next pick in the draft, I'm going to take Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure.
Yep. I thought that might go early.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to now draft
I got it, Duff. Don't worry.
I'm going to draft my next quarterback here. I'm going to add something that could probably be my icon, and I'm going to draft Stephen King's It.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Good pick.
All right. That is the now back to you, Niko.
All right. Well, let's see which way I want to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do a little reach here before y'all get to it. I am going to select Twilight Zone.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
As I know it's a little bit of a reach, but that seemed like that could be a hot prospect as much as like we've discussed that on here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and reach for that. And then my second reach is actually going to be American Horror Story.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yep.
All right. Off the board. All right. So mine, I'm going to go straight to original concept. I don't have a lot of backups on these ones. So the ones that I have on here, I definitely need. So this going a third for me is Greek mythology. I'm going to do original concept of Greek mythology.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I like it. I like where you're going with that.
All right. Duff, you are up.
And I think I'm going to take a swing in the direction you did earlier, Mike. And with my next pick, I'm going to go with The Conjuring.
Ooh, all right. And you got another one.
Okay, this is tough. I feel like... All right, I'm just going to pick this one now. I'm going to draft Slaughter Cinema.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. All right. I'm glad that this is still here. I worried it might go early, but it's still here. I'm going to draft the breakout hit of 2018 horror movies, and that would be Hereditary. I'm going to draft Hereditary.
Oh, I like it.
Alrighty, I guess that brings it back around to me. Let me see what I have off the board. All right, time to go back to Niko Wells's big board here. And we are going to get... we're going to go back and get them for a third year in a row. We are doing Stranger Things.
Okay.
And then we're also following up Stranger Things with another extremely popular show, Game of Thrones.
Oh, Niko's going for the popular hits. All right. He's getting all of his 8 IPs out early, I think.
Yep.
All right. I'm going for another original concept. I worry to that. It's something that you guys might go with. So I'm going to pull it early because I feel like the IPs, there's a lot of things I can grab from. The originals, not so much. This one's going to be called Woodstock, like Stalker.
Ooh,
Woodstock.
Nice.
I like that. That's cool.
That's a cool idea.
Right.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna try to get an IP that people have been clamoring for. Make sure I have that to join The Conjuring, and I'm gonna go with Scream.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And okay, all right. To follow that up, I'm gonna take Universal Monsters.
Ooh, okay. All right. So now this one, I think I'm gonna change it up a little bit on my draft board. I was going to have a potential Ascension Parish Cemetery scare zone, which has now been taken. So I need another scare zone. I'm going to grab up the I'm just going to have another Ari Aster movie that has been a big popular hit. Midsummer is coming off the board.
Oh, wow.
I like where you're going with this. Hereditary and Midsummer.
Yeah, that's excellent. I still need to see that. Alrighty. All right, so it comes back to me, and yep, we're gonna go full, keep going into those IPs, baby. Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures.
Oh, geez.
Damn. People are gonna like that.
Yeah. Niko's might win this. He's playing this right.
Yeah, he is. Or
You
is
told
he?
me. All right, and then my second one. All right, time to go back to the big board since I got that off of there. I am going to go with another popular HBO show, Westworld.
Okay. All right. I guess it's back to me. I'm gonna snag up a very popular video game, The Last of Us. The Last of Us.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like that a lot.
Yours sounds like a fun event so far, Mike.
All right, Duff, you're on the board.
Where do I go next? I think I'm going to save my original concepts for last because I don't think you guys are going to use them.
Yeah, same here.
Do I want to go? Do I go original or do I go IP and finish off? All right, I'm going to draft Body Collectors.
Ooh. And you got another one.
And after that, I'm going to draft I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to draft Train to Busan,
Oh.
What?
Okay.
What's that?
a Korean horror film that is very popular.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it.
I'm gonna go with another very popular horror film. A bit more of a well-named one though. I was a little worried that this might have been taken up. It hasn't been. It's been utilized before, so it is a returning IP, and that is A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm gonna utilize it. Nightmare on Elm Street. And that means back to you, Niko, with 2 picks.
All right. Well, I have 2 IP slots left, so I'm going to go ahead and blow them here. I am going to go with Star Trek.
Okay.
And Treehouse of Horror, The Simpsons.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to pick The Descent. If Duff knows,
I knew that was coming.
Duff knows that this is probably my favorite thing that could be utilized as a Halloween Horror Nights house. The Descent.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about stealing that from you.
Well, you didn't, so that's good.
I think I am gonna pick a big IP next, returning one, and that's gonna be Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Wow, going this late, that's a steal.
Yeah, and then to follow that up, I'm gonna do an original property, based off Aztec culture.
Okay.
You've been into that culture lately, so that's good.
I don't know which ones. I'm going to go ahead and snag it up just in case. I don't think you guys would take this, but I'm just going to take it. A sequel to Anarcade. Anarcade is off the board.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't going to take that. It's all yours.
That's a good pick. That
could be utilized differently.
One of my initial themes that I was thinking of for that had Anarcade in it and Marathon of Mayhem. So I'm glad I strayed away from there. Okay, so to me, I'm going to go for original concept revolving around reality television shows.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
And then it looks like I have another one here. So I am going to do so kind of bending it a little bit here. Because this is kind of like just really a concept. I think this is an original concept. It seems to me. Forgive me if this has been done before, but a black and white scare zone. I'm sorry. Well, a black and white television town.
Okay.
Kind of like a 50s style black and white television town. That, well, I'll use as a scare zone, but I'll have details for that.
Little elements of that have been utilized before, but no, that particular like Pleasantville black and white scary town
not Pleasantville, yeah, but it's not going to be Pleasantville.
Right, that type of thing. No, yeah, I'm not assigning an IP to your thing, but I'm just saying that type of thing has not been utilized before.
Okay, cool. So that'll be my 2: a reality TV show and black and white, like 50s.
The closest thing I could say is like maybe Leave It to Cleaver, but it's I think original. You can call it original concept.
Okay.
Okay. I'm on the board. That is going to be. I'm going to do a sequel house to the SS Frightanic.
Ooh.
Going
I
a
like
deep cut on this one.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna take Seeds of Extinction, and
And then you
then
have another one.
I'm gonna follow that up. An original based on Pompeii.
Okay. That's different and different enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because Pompey was
Roman.
Rome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna snag my last IP. I decided to have one kind of silly house because I feel like that's something they've been doing lately, and people seem to like it. I'm gonna snag up Attack of the Killer Tomatoes,
Ooh.
There you go.
and then that is back to you, Nico.
All right. I know I spelled that wrong in the Google sheet. Don't make fun of me. All right. So I'm going to go with I don't believe anyone has said this or this has been close, but I mean I have some headway here. I'm going to go with the Bloody Gridiron, which is a sportacular mess.
Mhm.
So that's an original concept revolving around the concept of sports.
Okay.
Okay.
And you have another one.
And so we got that one, and then a generic like a television doctor show, like set in a hospital.
Okay.
That stuff.
Okay.
That like drama, like a throw up of that genre.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I think this is the last. This is original concept, but I think it's the last of the ones that you guys would potentially pick, and that is going to be an original concept based on Rasputin / the Russian Revolution.
Oh,
Rasputin is off the board. Surprised you haven't said The Crow yet.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I think I don't know.
Deep cut.
I don't think people would love it.
I mean, I've just put whatever I wanted to put on there. I know I'm gonna lose. Nico's gonna win this.
I'm going for a mixture of what I want / what people would want, without jeopardizing what I want too much. All right, I know what I'm gonna do.
All right, Duff, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with the Netflix original Apostle.
Okay.
Oh, okay, nice. Lots of Netflix in here.
And do you still have another pick?
I do. I think I'm going to use it on. Damn, this is hard. Now I see why teams use their full allotment of time for picks.
Yeah. All right, let's throw it to Mel Kiper as he goes. Well, he definitely has lots of good picks left here on the board. I mean, Yeti's still out there, so he could go for the sweep there.
I wish I could.
Yeah, you've utilized all your originals already, right?
My previously used originals are taken.
There's still plenty of good IP out there. You could do one of your favorite movies.
No.
I only have originals left. I'm surprised you guys
I only have originals left.
like original concepts.
Yeah,
I still have IP.
I still have an icon. I still have an icon too.
But okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna go with. It's basically Wild West zombies.
Okay.
Nice.
Like it. All right, that means it's back to me. I only have original concepts left, so I'm just gonna kind of do the ones that are potentially could be taken. Psycho Redneck 4th of July. So the concept Psycho Redneck 4th of July is off the board.
Ooh.
Dang it! I had that written down.
That's back to you, Niko.
All right. I'm going to do a park icon for this draft, and he is going to be a man who has a television for a head that's all static, and he will be the Static King.
Nice. And you have one more pick?
Yep. And then I think after this, it'll go back down to Duff, and then back to me, and then I'll have one pick after this, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, I have. Yeah, no, yeah. I have only picked 14 things so far, so I think we all have a couple more picks.
Okay, and then I'm going to do a a concept based upon the American sitcom.
Okay. I am going to draft original concept based on the German techno nightclub. Techno nightclub is off the board.
Yes. Can I get that Kraftwerk? Yeah.
And then Duff, you have 2 more picks, and then I think was that all of them? I'm not sure.
Well, I think this is are we doing, is it 18 picks?
It would be 7. Well, 18 if you need it. If your icon is not going, I don't need it.
I don't need
I only need 16, but 17 would be the everything, but 18 would give you an extra icon if you want it.
All right. So I'm going to go with, I'll pick the 17. So I have 3 picks left. For my next one, to keep it in line with what you just picked, sort of, just the word German, I'm going to go with my original concept called Air Raid, based during World War II.
All right.
That sounds good.
Not Nightingale's Air Raid?
No, it's not.
All right. What's your second one?
Still trying to figure out what I want to do with this last IP. Seeing as I've been demolished. My poor draft board. Yep, I'm going to do the crowd pleaser. I'm going to go with Hellraiser.
Oh, yep. That could potentially be your IP too. All right. That means it's back to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My last original concept. This one is overly aggressive zombie costume characters. The title would be called Would You Like a Picture? And that's back to you, Niko.
All right, and then I'm going to go with this is HHN, which is a zombie breakout within a news organization, of a cable news organization.
Okay.
And that is I believe that's it. That's it for me.
Yeah, that's it for me too.
All right, and I have one last pick.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna go with Jack the Clown.
All right.
There you go. Right
Jack
there at the end.
Right at the very end. Wow, draft Jack the Clown went very last.
Last pick in the draft.
And Hellraiser, jeez. I thought about drafting Hellraiser. All right, we'll be back with our how we're going to utilize those in just a second. All right, we are back. We are now going to go over and kind of flesh out our events a little bit. Let's start with you, Niko. How about you tell us about your shows?
Alrighty, so one of our shows is actually going to be a show based on American Horror Story, which is why I drafted that. I thought it'd be cool to have an American Horror Story show and actually have it be in a more intimate setting. I was planning on putting it in the makeup theater, where they do the horror makeup show. I think it would be really cool to actually have an HHN show in there and also give people the chance to just sit down for a little bit during HHN. I think that's why I have it going in there. That would be show 1, but the big show that would be going back in the Fear Factor stage is going to be Sid and Nancy's Spray Paint Spectacular.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah. So what this is, it's going to start off, you're going to have 2 Sonny and Cher type individuals come out and try to do a 70s style variety TV show in front of y'all. But then it's going to get ambushed by Sid and Nancy, and they're going to like tie him up and hog tie him and like start causing a ruckus around and try to make fun of like some of the musical guests that they bring on. It's not going to feature like any real world guests. It's going to be like fake 70s style like guests that they bring on, like a discount Vincent Price. I mean, oh, hi there. I mean, no, I just realized what I said there. Hi, Hunter. All right. Oh, wow. That's funny. No, that's staying
Start
in.
again.
No, that's staying in.
No, that's perfect.
That's really funny. You know, and you have someone like that come in, and then the icon for my entire event, the Static King, would come in and basically start terrorizing them. And at the end of the show, we see the 2 of them hanging up like we did at the end of Graveyard Games.
Okay. I guess I like that Sid and Nancy are going to live on in your lore of being just like these punks that ridicule people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I can live with that. They're like the Muppet. What are they? The names of the two Muppet
The Fraggles?
curmudgeons? No, the curmudgeons who
Oh,
like sit in.
Walter and Standor.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Sid and Nancy are like them in your HHN world where they just around to like ridicule things.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
The spray paint spectacular. I thought that was clever.
All right. Duff, what are your two shows?
So first I'll start because I do have an overarching icon, although it's going to be unrelated to the shows that I'm going to mention. I picked Terra Quintus first for a reason. And that's one, so I could use Terra Queen as my icon for the event.
Okay.
And we'll
That's
see
what I thought.
tie in a little bit more later. But as far as shows, I did pick Bill and Ted, so obviously that is the return of Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. It'll be the reunion tour, and it's going to be the same old Bill and Ted that we know and love, or if you don't love, sorry, they're back.
Tolerate. Yeah, tolerate.
However, the second show, I did not draft Marathon of Mayhem. However, I do have a Lagoon show, and that is going to be Slaughter Cinema, Terror on the Lagoon.
That sounds
All
cool.
right.
So basically, it's going to be using past Slaughter Cinema properties or B movies that they used, and then some new ones as well.
I like it.
That sounds really good.
All right, so my icon I drafted early is going to be Pennywise. So it's going to be an IP icon, and then also he's going to be utilized in a show called Pennywise, just a Pennywise horror stage show. I did not come up with a clever name for it. And then also my other show, obviously, I drafted as number one pick would be Marathon of Mayhem, basically utilized very similar to they did in 29, where it kind of goes over most of the IPs of the event and put in there.
Nice.
Okay. All right, let's switch on to scare zones. Let's change it up a little bit. I'll go first on my scare zones. So I have 5 scare zones. The first scare zone is going to go into kind of the production central area, but the difference is that's also going to utilize the music plaza. So it's going to be a big, huge scare zone because it's going to all the way go up to the music plaza stage. And so the line for that house would obviously have to go backstage. But this would be the concept Woodstock, like stalking prey. Basically, the hippies descend on Bethel, New York, not knowing that living in the woods is it's also a full moon, and the werewolves do ascend upon them. Also in the scare zone, there will be kind of like a third show that utilizes about every so often a musical artist, like a Janis Joplin or a Jimi Hendrix cover band will come up as a werewolf and performed throughout the night. So a lot of the original Woodstock performers in their werewolf version of them.
Okay, I like that. Great. I like that.
Next, utilize in New York is going to be utilizing the IP video guy IP, The Last of Us. I feel like it fits really good as a scare zone. I'm not a huge fan of the zombie scare zone, but I feel like the clickers work pretty well. There's going to be some really cool makeup. I feel like there has been a while since we've had a really good video game IP at the event, and we've had some good ones in the past, like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and I feel like The Last of Us works very well as a scare zone, so it's going to go in there. Moving on to San Francisco, this one is San Francisco area is very cramped, and what best way to make it even more cramped is park a bunch of RVs in there and throw a barbecue. That would be Psycho Redneck 4th of July. So you're going to pull up a bunch of RVs, and we're actually going to every so often launch off some fireworks from the show buildings as well. And you're going to be attacked by some crazy rednecks through that scare zone.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Also, then we're going to kind of go down to Central Park. This one, I think, had a couple of things in here. I mentioned Ascension Parish Cemetery, but that was taken. In this one, where I decided to settle on Midsummer, going in here. I feel like it's utilized well there. And then lastly, for Hollywood, another one that is just something I couldn't really think of anything really interesting that was original that could fit in this space. But I came up with a concept called "Would You Like a Picture?" So basically, it's like Hollywood, the street, the Walk of Fame, but you are attacked by overly aggressive zombie cartoon characters that try to force you to take pictures with them.
Oh, that's
So,
great. And dropping their CDs and jewel cases on the ground.
Yes. So you get like zombie Hello Kitty, zombie Elmo. You get a lot of different intellectual properties. Basically, Universal could just pull out all their fur characters, put some zombie guts on them, and call it a day in this one. Mess them up, mess up the heads a little bit so they don't quite look right, and it'll be perfect. All right, those are my scare zones.
Nice.
On to you, Duff.
All right, cool. So I'll start out with the obvious one for me, and this is going to be back in New York, where we are going to find Terra Cruentis. And you're going to see everything you know and love about Terra Cruentis from HHN 15. We're going to have the sacrifices and the fire pits. You'll, of course, have the Terra Throne. You'll see the Terra Blade used for sacrifices. You'll see the Black Guards riding on their motorcycles. Basically, just look back at HHN 15, move it over to New York. That's what you're getting out of the Terra Cruentis scare zone for me. Next, moving over, we'll go to Central Park next and use one of the original IPs that we saw at HHN 28, and that'd be Seeds of Extinction. I think this would be a perfect area for that kind of overgrown feel. So again, this one's pretty straightforward. Think of what you get in the house for Seeds of Extinction. The growth has overtaken mankind into this tight little corridor that is Central Park, and I think it's going to be fantastic. Well, I say that like it's actually going to happen. Next, I'm going to move over to Hollywood. This is where I put Train to Busan. If you haven't seen this movie, there's a really awesome scene near the end. It's at like a train depot, and there was a lot of destruction. There's an overturned train. So it's going to you're going to have the actual train props. One completely overturned, like hanging on another one where you'd walk through as like a tunnel.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
There will be a lot of fire effects around. You'll be walking. There'll be train tracks for safety. Those may or may not be accessible. That decision's not me, but hey, they'll be there. And of course, the zombies from the movie as well will be all over the place. Next, I'm going to move over to San Francisco, where I have the scare zone called Air Raid. And this is going to bring you back into World War II. Basically, the area is being bombed, and you're just going to see basically regular soldiers just shooting and screaming and scaring, and like kind of a bunker type area. And then for the final scare zone for me, going over to Plaza of the Stars, I'm going to have Universal Monsters, and this is kind of going to be the crowd pleasing, take selfies with the Monsters zone. That's it. Kind of don't want to do that, but I kind of want to please people at the same time. So there you go.
Yeah, I had one too.
And that's what I got for scare zones.
All right. Well, I have scare zones. I really only have 2 of them that are planned in to like locations that are like location specific. The others can kind of fit anywhere else. I actually have Stranger Things as a scare zone because we've seen it as a house. I thought it would be cool to have a cool Stranger Things scare zone instead.
Okay.
That features a lot from probably all 3 seasons of it. I haven't seen Stranger Things, but I know the kids really like it. So that's me holding my cigar out, prompting the Universal creative team to make it happen. If you can hear me like dust off the ashes right now. And then near there, a very similar would be a Sabrina scare zone. I think that'd be really cool. Probably this would fit well in the San Francisco area because you could have like like all the hauntings and stuff and the scaffolding in that area. I think the lighting would work really well for Sabrina over there in the San Francisco area. So that's 2 of my scare zones. Okay, so another scare zone that I have would be called like the Gridiron, which basically this is kind of based on the old Mardi Gras scare zone that they had,
Okay.
where
Zombie
it was
Gras.
Zombie Gras?
Zombie Gras. There you go. Thank you. Where there was a runaway pep rally float that ran over like a bunch of people in the football team and like a bunch of other varsity jocks. So it'd be just a bunch of like sports players walking around like dead, like with baseball bats and golf clubs and hockey sticks and football pads and helmets like that. I thought that would be fun to have for
We won't
sports.
we won't knock you for it, but it kind of sounds like a combination of Zombie Gras and Vamp 55.
I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Well,
We were.
we made something good then. Well, I'm still within my number. I'm still within my numbers then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
you're
didn't
fine.
utilize his originals very much.
You're fine
No.
anyways.
All right. And then so I have McCarthy, USA, which would be the Central Park Path area, which would be a bunch of people that are dressed in black and white makeup, and that whole area would try to be lit as black and white or painted that way, where every one is like holding like protest signs and yelling and calling everybody else a communist and being like they're not part of us and stuff like that, and just like create like a general sense of anxiety and fear
Okay.
through there.
All right.
And then I have a over in the New York area. I think, how many have I said? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so in the New York area, I would have Game of Thrones scare zone. I would
Okay.
have a scare zone basically so people can like take pictures with them and like they're actually being able to experience that. This would work really well as a scare zone because it's like everyone's going to go in there and like Instagram.
So like a selfie
there.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a selfie zone. But all right, do we want to go to houses next? Because this leads right into my house.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's do it.
So this would basically be a waiting area for probably the crown jewel of the event, which would probably be a large Game of Thrones house, which would be in one of the sound stages. That would be directly connected to the scare zone out front. Basically utilizing that as a large Game of Thrones area, since I feel like popularity for something like this would be still pretty big even after a lackluster last season. People would love to see a Game of Thrones like area, I believe. And there would be a real dragon. I mean, not a real dragon, but like there'd be they would actually have like dragons inside the sound stage, and that'd kind of be like the major set piece in there. That would be one of the houses. Another house would be what do I want to do next? Okay, it would be a Star Trek house. Try to go off of keeping up with my television theme. A Star Trek house based like on like Klingon ghettos, where like Klingons would come and try to attack you and scare you and like try to scare you away from their areas. I thought that would be cool, and just have like phaser sounds going back and forth, pew 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 pew, and just general like Star Trek horror goodness. And then the Simpsons would get their own house, and it would be a Treehouse of Horror house, obviously. But Sideshow Bob and a zombie Maud Flanders would be featured in the house, which I would love to. This is just me, like, I would love to see something like this. That's why I put it in there. I would love to see a Treehouse of Horror house like done really well. Also have I have a house that's based upon when you see enough Doctor TV shows, they all kind of sort of morph together. So I kind of just took a bunch of Doctor TV show names and slammed them together. And this is going to be a house called Doctor Emergency General house, where you're basically going through it's a full moon, and the ER is being overrun by everything from zombies to werewolves to vampires, like a bunch of like generic monsters that you'd find in there, and even like chest bursters too. Just like things that you would see in a hospital within a scary movie or TV show.
Oh, geez, you definitely didn't follow the things that won't happen after COVID-19 rule.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to fit that in there. I was
This Horror Nights that we are creating kind of is like an alternate universe.
Alternate timeline.
Where Disney doesn't own The Simpsons.
Yeah. Nothing withstanding, this is just what we think would be a cool looking one.
Right.
Also, a Westworld house. I think that would do really well as a house to have like some of the synthetic robots and stuff kind of like chase you down. It would be a little bit more urethral, kind of like Us last year. I really liked the Us house last year, but I was thinking of something along the lines of that for Westworld. And for Twilight Zone as well. Probably Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone would be cool to base that on. I think that would work really well as a house. Not really much you can say about there. Reality Bites, which is a reality TV show like mashup house of like Big Brother, The Real World, and Survivor, and all like the fun shows. And the tagline is, "You can't use an NDA if you're DEAD." It's a so basically just all the tropes and stuff, and you just get scary, disfigured humans that are trying to do everything that they can for fame. Like it feels like they already are doing on those shows, but just taken to another level there.
Is the end scene like you getting "The tribe has spoken" as you walk out?
Yeah, and then they just they take a coconut and put out your flame. And then a hole opens up and you fall down. Yeah. And then this is HHN, which is a zombie plague has broken into a newsroom and the broadcast has been cut. Just basically zombies overtaking a newsroom. I think that'd be cool because you could have a bunch of like tight corridors and like dark areas and then bright lights that just appear out of nowhere to try to scare you. I'd like that. And then the Icon gets his own house, which is you are entering a server farm for a popular streaming service, and so it's going to feel like really hot and stuff in there, and you're going to keep seeing the Static King pop in and out from around lots of corners and stuff. There's going to be a lot of bright flashing lights, some loud, like some high-pitched squealing, a lot of that like static that you hear, and then dial-up noises. It's going to be very like binaural, very much on the ears and the flashing of the lights. And that's my those are my houses.
Ooh, okay. I like that lineup. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, should I go next, Duff?
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Sure. All right. A lot of mines are a little bit straightforward, so I didn't really flesh out a lot of stuff. But obviously, Pennywise is my icon, so he would definitely get a house, and that would be it. Nightmare on Elm Street would also be a house and a soundstage. Probably focused in on the we've seen it done before, so we wouldn't necessarily focus on the first movie, maybe on some of the sequels and potentially the remake. The Descent is one of my favorite horror movies, so this would, I feel like, work really well. Kind of like you're in a dark, claustrophobic cave where you're attacked by monsters. Hereditary, obviously, what I feel like would work well as a house as well. And then my last IP house was I wanted something kind of silly and lighthearted, like we've seen the last couple of years with like Killer Clowns and Ghostbusters. That would be Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, would be utilized as a house, probably also in a soundstage. And then the returning HHN sequel, SSS Frightanic. And then I think an arcade would work well as a returning house, basically kind of fleshing out the story that they had, where you're walking through this post-apocalyptic world, where it's the arcade is kind of taken over. You're kind of walking through with a lot of like 80s glowing, and you're attacked by the characters they have already kind of created, but more as a house. I feel like it would be utilized really well, better than they did in the Scare Zone if you did it in a house, to be honest. Then I have a couple of original concepts. A house kind of based on Rasputin and the Russian Revolution, I think would work really well. It would be in the soundstage where it's really cold in there. But you kind of get that the timeline where like Rasputin is kind of this evil sorcerer, and you get to see him killed a bunch of different times, but he just kind of comes alive in each room. So you get to see him dying, but also coming to life and killing the people who are trying to kill him over and over again. A little bit kind of like a Groundhog's Day type of situation where he just keeps coming back. Then I have a original house kind of based on Greek mythology, so all kind of the spooky things from Greek mythology, so like Medusa, the Minotaur, Hades, kind of all wrapped up into a house. I feel like that would work really well. I haven't necessarily fleshed out the idea totally, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. And then this one is one that I did flesh out. So let me read you the title. It says, "In the heart of Berlin, this once abandoned power plant is now one of the most exclusive techno clubs. The line wraps around endlessly due to the notoriously judgmental bouncers. Unbeknownst to the want-to-be partygoers, they aren't selecting the perfect patron, but the perfect drug. The fuel of this weekend-long rave is your blood." So this is actually based on a real-life nightclub in Berlin that has notoriously exclusive bouncers, and it's kind of the hardest nightclub in the world to get into. So it's a little bit based on a real-life nightclub.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Obviously, it's not vampires.
What would be the name of the house? Power Grid?
No, I haven't thought of a good. I haven't really thought of a good one.
Ravers of Catan?
No, the name of the real life nightclub is called Berghain, or Berghain. Actually, I think it's like Berghain. So it's going to be something like Berghain, The Last Dance.
No, that's actually a good name. Stick with that.
Um,
All right. I think that's all. Everything. I think that's all of mine. All right, Duff, you're up.
All right. Well, let's finish this off. So like Mike, I have a lot of properties that kind of just speak for themselves. There's only a few houses that I'm really going to share any real details about. So let me just knock the kind of obvious ones out of the way first. So we have a Halloween Kills house. I was trying to decide whether to go with Halloween 5 or Halloween Kills. I decided Halloween Kills would be the better fit at this time, where I think continuing the trajectory they were on. I also have Pinhead Hell Priest, which is a Hellraiser-based house, of course. The Conjuring, it's going to be the entire universe, so including Annabelle as well. Scream House, which people have been waiting for. Ghostface will finally have his own house at Halloween Horror Nights. And then my final IP house is going to be Apostle, the Netflix original movie. If you haven't seen it, slow burn, but a really good watch. Again, just kind of going through the scenes of the movie, though. Not too much detail I can give there. As far as my original properties go, I will start with Pompeii, one that speaks for itself as well. Everyone knows about the volcano eruption. So basically, the volcano is erupting. You're trying to get out before it does. There's ash and not lava monsters, as people have clamored for before, but more people who have been damaged by the lava who are going to jump out and scare you. Yeah. The next one I drafted as Wild West Zombies. Zombies isn't the best word for it, though. I am calling this house Gunslingers. It's basically a old West town that is preserved in time. So just think of like a nice old West movie. Make it a little darker and scarier, and you got Gunslingers. And now I'm going to start describing the houses a little more, as I have 3 left. The next one is called Shipe Totek, which you two know about for a reason. But basically, Shipe Totek was a death god in the Aztec culture. And so basically, you're going to go through the jungles and temples of the Aztec times. Fun thing about Shipe Totek is those who worship him make sacrifices for him. This sacrifice, there's multiple ways it's done, but one of the fun ones is that you are skinned and that your heart is cut out. So you may see that pop up around the house a few times as well. And this is where you're going to kind of have to go with me here, and where my overarching theme really starts to tie in with these final 2 houses. And it's going to get a little weird, I think. The first one I'll go with is going to be called Body Collectors Protect the Queen.
Okay.
So it starts off as a basic body collector's house, as they have been. The gentlemen will be doing their regular work and scaring you and body parts and organs and all that fun stuff. Once you get about halfway into the house, a little bit before halfway into the house, you're going to come across the Terror Blade, which is basically why they do all this work, is to create the Terror Blade. Why do you come across it? You're going to see Jack's Maniacs start popping into this house out of nowhere. You'll find out, or, well, you'll understand that the idea is that they're trying to take the Terror Blade. So it basically becomes a fight between the gentleman and Jack's Maniacs. The final scene will be an empty Terror Throne with Jack's laugh in the background as you walk out. The final house is called, this is just a project title. I don't have an actual name. I was trying to think of a great one, but I couldn't. But it's called Jack is Back for the Throne.
Okay.
So in this house, it's basically going to be a continuation of what you saw in Body Collectors Protect the Queen. This time, not just featuring Jack's Maniacs, but Jack himself will be the focal point. So it's going to be a fight between gentlemen, the Blackguards, Jack's Maniacs, Jack. And in the end, you find Jack sitting on the Terror Throne holding the Terror Blade.
Nice. All right. Is that everyone has fleshed out their event?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
all been fleshed out.
All right. So give us a day or so to get we're going to try to make basically maps or we'll see what we can do.
Well, yeah.
But
once we post this, the votes will be available.
yes. Yeah,
So, yeah, basically vote for whatever event you would most want to attend, I think is what we're going for here. If you could pick one of these 3 events to exist, which one would it be?
right.
These are all pretty good events. I mean,
I want to go to all of them.
Yeah, I'd go to all of them for sure.
These sound really good.
Yeah, they all sound really good. But yeah, so vote for your favorite. That is going to be on both Twitter and Instagram. If you forget what is in each one, we'll come up with some sort of little graphic to remind you somehow. Is what I was trying to say.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's all we got for this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in this with us, guys. Hopefully we get some announcements soon. Hopefully everyone's doing well in the quarantine, and we'll see you back next week.
Hey, hold on.
What?
One more thing.
Whoa.
Leave us a voicemail at 407-906-3405 if you want to talk about this draft, what you would have picked, what we shouldn't have picked, what we blatantly missed, and then the voting will take place on our social medias, Twitter and Instagram, both at HHN365. Now you can take us out.
All right. We'll see you later, and we'll see you in the streets.